to do, I hope we will be able to go through some questions. Sometimes questions are good. I don't know, but we don't have the microphones. Can we have a team give them some microphones around so that we can be able to get some questions that may be very good? Then we end up with an advice based on the questions that people are having. That might be good. Anybody with a question? If you can put up your hand. In any language, don't worry, don't be restricted to English. If I can understand your language, we'll take it that way. So anybody with a question? Okay, nobody's asking any question. Yeah, there is one here. He has a question, so we can start as an icebreaker. And you look wonderful, you look great. Mukulike COVID. Abange mukulike ku COVID. Bameka bali ready to get married. Bameka batabitegera bitwogera ko lwalero. I really believe many of you are going to be seriously blessed today. And before December, I'm praying that you'll be one person who will get married to a wonderful spouse. Yes.
Yes, hello, Pastor. I'm Wilson. I'm a journalist of New Vision. Pastor, my question, I feel it vital because whatever you're going to talk about rotates around one thing. It starts from love. We've read very many documents and other definitions of love, but you might be having your own way. You can explain to us what love is, because on it we build other things like the relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other question? Any other question? Okay, they're asking about what is the definition of love? What is love? Anybody with a question? Okay. Can I have, there's a microphone here. Okay, thank you, sir. One here was working. We had one here working. It is here. Oh, your TV. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Pastor. My name is Rebecca, and my question is, why is it so difficult for men to commit to marriage? They just don't. It's like you can pull them, but they do not want. Please help us. What's the solution?
Okay, why do men have to commit? That's a good question. That's a good question. Any other question? Listen, there's another one there.
Nesimye nnyo okufuna omukisa guno pastor. Nze mbuuza ssebo, lwaki mu bufumbo okukuuma obufumbo emphasis bagiteeka ku mukyala? Abaami kirabika oba abaana baffe abalenzi kirabika nti oba bo tetubafuddeeko. Tukwata nnyo abakyala, omukyala akola bw'ati, omuzadde akola bw'ati, maama akola bw'ati. Naye tukole tutya okuzza abaana baffe abalenzi oba abaami baffe? Weebale nnyo ssebo.
Thank you so much. Then there are two people behind there. There are three people behind there, so then we can be able to.
Thank you, Pastor. I'd like to know from you, should women be paid like salaries in their homes? I'm talking of a woman who doesn't work, who takes care of the child, children, and the home. Do you recommend payment of a particular amount? Like, for example, in this city, Kampala, where a woman needs to look good, plait hair, buy new clothes. Thank you.
Any other question? There was another one behind there. There are those behind there.
Hi everyone. Yeah, the kibuzo kyange pastor kiri nti ndi muvubuka era nina gwendetinga but oyo gwendetinga yaŋŋamba nti no love is a business. Kituufu oba si kituufu? Kye question yange.
Thank you, Pastor. I'm called Damba Paul, and I've moved with my beautiful wife here. But I want to understand one thing. In fact, let me bring it to your attention. I'll be wedding on the 1st of October this year. But I want to understand, is marriage going to church, or is marriage going to the parents of my wife and they bless us? That's what I want to understand.
Thank you very much, Pastor. My question is how to go about a relationship where someone say I'm a Catholic and someone I'm dating is a Muslim and they're not willing to change. They're saying we can get married. But my question is, after we've given birth to children, will they follow the Catholic way? Will they follow the Islamic way? So how do we go about that? Thank you.
Amanya nze Nalwoga Susan. I'm a clinical psychologist, counselor, and I specialize in premarital and marrieds as well as children and adolescents. Ekintu kimu kyenzudde Musumba Kayanja. Bwe wabeerawo obuzibu mu bufumbo, emirundi egisinga abakyala, they are so much willing to come for help, to find solutions for the problems they are facing in marriage. Naye abaami balooza baatuuka, abasinga obungi balooza byonna babimanyi bye bakola, era abasinga obungi bagamba agwe genda mu counseling nze ndi fine. And yet bwe tutegeera obulungi amaka, omutwe gw'amaka ye musajja. Era nze ndowooza nti a marriage failing depends so much on the headship that God himself gave to men. Norekyo tugenda kusalira tutya abaami baffe okuddayo ku bwannamba emu ez'akameeza bazitoole awo nno n'abakyala naffe tunyumirwa obufumbo. Thank you so much, Pastor Kayanja.
There is a gentleman behind there. If you can take him a mic. There is a gentleman behind there. Then we can have that one in the blue t-shirt. So
Mukama yebazibwe. Amannya nze Nakibinge Kennedy. Nga nine ekitongole kyenkola nakyo bakiyita Mengo Vocation ekikuŋŋaanya abavubuka. Musumba, nafunako okusoomoozebwa. Waliwo omu ku batabani bange yakola embaga era badde mu bufumbo obutukuvu for 10 years now. Naye omukyala agaanye okuzaala. Bagamba omwami alyoke, omwami ye yazaala ku baana, naye omukyala okuva bakola embaga tazaalanga. So babuuza bakole batya baawukane kuba bagenda dda mu kyaki ne babagatta empeta. Naye yanza
wabaddewo wano omwami yaddawanisa omukono. Okay, I think we have bw'oba owandiika notes wansi tujja kutunuulira ebintu ebiwerako. So we will use English and Luganda. We shall go to and fro so that we can be able. Yes.
Yes, my name is K. David. In marriage, I have a simple question. Why is it that when you marry a lady, she wants you to respect her parents, for her, he doesn't want to respect mine?
Okay, I think we can start from here, and then if another matters rises, we can. There are 3 questions, ebibuuzo biri bisatu ebyanukula buli kizibu kyonna, whether marriage, whether politics, whether business, whether family. These 3 things always bye biyimirirako ebibuuzo byonna, oba bya business, oba bya maka, oba bya ki. 3 things. Number one, it's faith. What someone believes. What someone believes is very, very important, because that makes who you are, or God, or whatever it is. Oba tokkiriza Katonda, oba okkiriza lubaale, oba nona agamba nti I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, naye era aba alina by'akkiriza nti is an atheist. So that's number 1. Number 2, finances. Ebintu byonna bijja genda kubimaliriza, ne bweba njala ya karamojja era ogenda obimaliriza bwoti ng'oli ku finance. Ne bwe kibeera mwana butasoma ogenda okukimaliriza nga is finance. So finances, faith, finances, and thirdly, family. The 3 F's: faith, finance, and family. Every problem a person is going to meet, they rotate on those issues. There is a mother here who raised a question about the boy child. Why are they always putting a burden on the girl child but never on the boy child? Family. The way that boy was raised, the way that man was raised, the way we raise our children. Sister oli agambye nti omwami tayagala kugenda mu counseling, agamba nti I'm okay, naye ageze okumaliriza nga ali ku kameeza. Finance. Sister oli abuuzizza, you love a Muslim man, you are a Catholic, or he's a Catholic, you are a Muslim. Now, where are children going to go? Catholic, Bulokole, Muslim, faith. So all the problems we are having rotate on 3 things. So if you're going to have a good marriage, that's why this symposium of bride and groom is very, very important. Never ignore counseling. Counseling is not only when you are getting married, but even at home you are being counseled. So I'm going to give you some, because my point of reference, I've been married for 32 years with my wife, Jessica, and we have 3 children. 2 are twin girls. 1 graduated 2 weeks ago in London with a law school. She's continuing to do her barrister. My other twin daughter, Christiana, she's a designer. So if she wasn't with her sister in London, she would have been part of the people who are showcasing. My other son did computer science and production. So he works with us now in different capacities. But the issue of marriage is that we've never understood what marriage is. Obufumbo tetubutegeeranga. We have to go back to the original. Who started this thing? If you want to fix your car and it was made by Toyota, you don't go to Mercedes-Benz. You go to Toyota. The Japanese know what they did in that Toyota. If you want to really, you've run out of blood and your blood type is not there in Nakasero Blood Bank, what is going to happen? The first thing they will do, or you need a bone marrow transplant, or you need a kidney, they'll have to look at your family. They can't just look at anybody who passes on the street. Nebagamba ha, kino ekisajja kinene nnyo, ne bwe tugisijjamu kidney emu kijja kusobola okubeerawo. Kituweeyo kidney emu tugiteekemu oli. Your body may reject that organ. So we have to go back to the foundation of who started marriage and why did he start it. And what was the reason why he saw that man cannot live alone. If we understand that, then every other question that we are having in the world concerning marriage will be sorted out. God is the one who started marriage. You see, for us, we get the word marriage from English language, which was taken from the Greek, actually from the Latin and Greek. So, what was feedback? Feedback, kendezako, lower it, load. So, the problem, kendeza, so that it doesn't have feedbacks. Kati, problem, kendeza, lower down, whoever the sound engineer is. So, ekizibu kye tulina kakati nga bwolaba marriage, for us tukiyita bufumbo. Kakati kuffe mbi ani afumba? Kuffe mbi ani afumba? This is interactive, bana mulina okuddamu. Who is cooking here? Do you see the confusion? Do you see the confusion? This is a marriage and we are calling it obufumbo in translation. So the girl child is groomed okubeera omuki omufumbi. All her life rotates on that. We are raising girls, oteko kuwata, oteko kufumba, oteko kola boti, osekula akalo, ofumbira omwami. Because you are entering in what? In marriage, in bufumbo. But was that God's intention when he created man? When he saw man and he said, man shall not live alone, but I'll make him a helper. What was the reason? Kiddamu ekibuuzo omwami oli kye yabuuzizza. What is love? God is love. And everything he creates is out of love. He made man in his own image. When man sinned, he came to save him and he said, for God so loved the world. So everything that comes from God, the owner of marriage, is about love. Is about love. Now man has different levels of love. There is a love I have for my wife. There's a love I have for my daughters. There's a love I have for the people in the church. There's a love I love for you. Okay? So all these loves are different. They're all called love. But the true love is the one you found from God, who loved us. Because while we are still sinners, still God loved us. And he died for us. Kati zino zonna ze tujjamu, we all call it love. So obufumbo, what is marriage? What was God's intention to create marriage? If you get that one, then the burden will not be on the girl child to raise her, kubanga agenda kufumba, because that's how we understand it here. Naye bw'otunuulira show zino zonna ze mutunuulidde eza Iron Chef, n'ebintu ebirala. Abantu abasinga okufumba si bakazi, basajja. You see? Because for them they understand what marriage is, because marriage is their language. It's in English. It means something different from what we have made it to be. Remember this. Whatever you hand over to man or woman, we have the ability of turning it around to our advantage. When God created Adam and Eve, he made them male and female. He did not make man greater. He formed them differently, but he created them equal. So if you want to understand marriage, marriage actually is not even an institution. Mulidde ekigambo kye bagamba obufumbo is an institution. It's not an institution. Marriage is a place of creation and procreation. Marriage is life. Life has got stages. There was a time I was in the womb of my mother, and the scripture said, God knew me before I was in the womb of my mother. So he knew me, and thus he knew whom I was going to marry, and he knew the children I will produce. He knew what I'll be doing. The problem is, gwotunulira sister oba blaza ng'omulabye ku stage. Ku stage kw'omulabidde akyali mu nursery, omulabidde mu primary, omulabidde mu secondary school, omulabidde ku university. Naye ono gy'agenda gwe tomanyiiyo. You don't know this person. That's why he was saying that the wife wants me to respect her parents, but she doesn't want to respect my parents. Because what you saw was on a particular stage in her life. Now, the one who started marriage, agamba, before you were in the womb of your mother, I knew you. And before you came out, I ordained you, predestined you. The problem is that because we don't understand marriage, for example, the first couple. When the first couple were created in Genesis, they were not born, they were not babies. None of them put on diapers. They were already grown up. They didn't have a natural parents to raise Adam. This is how you handle a wife. This is how you handle a husband. The parents were not there. God made them grown up. Because Katonda kyatonda, akitonda nga kijjudde. Kiyinza okukola ensobi, kiyinza obutamanya kikyogambye, naye Katonda kyatonda, akitonda nga kigezi, because Adam was very wise, very intelligent. He named all the animals. Ne Eve bamuleta, yamumanyirawo, naga you are bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. And yet he was not there. He was sleeping when God put the rib out, but he knew. Marriage, we need to draw back a little bit before we enter marriage. Before people organize us into marriage, before people tell you about marriage, you need to go back to God and ask him, Lord, you made me. You knew me before I came here. Before my parents conceived me, you knew me. I know you have a husband for me. I know you have a wife for me. Because if you don't do that, stages of your life in marriage, ejja kwetaagisa compatibility, ejja kwetaagisa nti ennyingo zammwe ez'obulamu nga zisobola okukwatagana ne muyita awazibu. Okay? Nga endwadde bwe zijja nga musobola buli omu asobola obutayonoona kiriwo oba obutafiirwa kiriwo naye ne muyita mu kyekyo ekiriwo. Jukira, the God who started marriage is a God. He first started a family before he made marriage. Marriage must end up in a family. Okay, mubuyita bufumbo. Naye for me, I call it a place of creation. We mutondera ebintu ebitabaddewo ne bibaawo. So which means ne batutandika marriage when we are poor and we have nothing, tetwasoma. Because listen, your grandparents didn't have a degree, but they got married, they produced your parents, and your parents produced you. You want to tell me nti bali abatasoma, abatamanya love, darling, sweetheart, abatalina taking you out, dating you, abatalina Kentucky fried chicken, they didn't have marriage? They created your parents. They may even have educated them on their ignorance and illiteracy. Nze omwami twantwalako ku beach, ontwalako gye ku beach, ntegere nti you love me. Your grandfather jajjawe yamutwala ku beach yawa. There are certain things which I call stages. Stages ezija mu marriage. Very good example. We got married. We took 5 years before we had a child. And when we got a child, when Jessica got pregnant, we were in London. Because she has taken long, we did not know she was pregnant. The program was so hectic. I was speaking 3 times a day. Sometimes we were moving. So she had a terrible miscarriage. So we lost what would have been our firstborn. Of course, people were talking. Hey, Pastor, asabira abala ne bazaala owuwa aganyi. But I did not marry Jessica to have children. Never atandizadde that still would have been my wife. Because I was not marrying a baby producing machine. You see, once you start understanding, a very good example is the first couple, Jembagambi, Adam and Eve. First of all, they did not have anybody to counsel them, to raise them. They were created grown-ups. Why? Because God does not babysit. Once you understand your God, you will know that my God does not babysit. Katonda does not change diapers. That's why, write down this point. If you're going to get married and you're staying in marriage, never call your wife mommy or your husband daddy. Because you can't sleep with your daddy, you can't sleep with your mommy. You see? So that the things that we have turned marriage to be is completely what marriage is not. What marriage is not. She's your lover, call her sugar plum, beredene. Whatever you want to call that person. Find him a name. In fact, that's why God said in marriage, and I hope you're taking point. I'm hitting this marriage thing all over the board. So I'm not talking about one particular part. When God created Adam, he put him in the garden. When Adam needed a helper, so you are marrying a helper. Before she is your cook, before she's the mother of your children, before she's a support of your life, before she does anything, she is your what? She's there to help you. Your husband is there to help you. Now, a helper is not your slave. A helper, I must find you doing something, then I help you. You actually must ask for my help. Hello? You must do what? You must ask for my help. You should say, please help me here. I'm handling this. This is too difficult. Can you help me here? Can you help me here? You are the one responsible, but you need my help. So I did not come here to infringe on you. I came to help you. Okay, now, he brought Eve. Do you know why they call her Eve? Huh? God came to Adam in the morning, and in the evening, he brought this thing which looked like Adam. But the only thing, it had long hair, it had some hips, and some kilograms here. And Adam said, actually God said, he brought her to him to see what he will call her. Going back to that point, why do you call your wife mommy? Kati ate abaana bamwe banamuyita ki? Gwe omusajja omukulu olina ekiwalaata ng'ekyange ng'oyita mukazi wo mami, nga n'omwana omuto naye agamba mami, kati baby yaani wano? Where is the baby here? Where is the baby? Yes, lwaki some of you ladies, you've spoiled your husband. Your husband naye awuliranga baby. Waliwo omuntu omu Pastor Jessica gwe yali akansoling ekapa emu nagamba ono kale nze bwe nali nga tetunaba kuzaala abaana nga nze baby we ng'omwami yakomplaininga. Kakati abaana bayita baby nze sirina muntu andabirira yandekaawo. Omusajja omukulu ng'ayagala bamuyite baby. Sebo tetulina nywanto yakukuwa, enywanto yeri wa maama wo. So your wife is not your mother. And your husband is not your father. You are in the room of creation, mwembi muze, with attributes ezigenda okuyamba to create. That's what the Bible said, a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and then they will create their own family, whereby the man is the head. Aboluganda, omutwe bwe bagutema ne bagusuula wano kaakati ffenna tudduka kubaga gutiisa. Omutwe is useful as long as it's on the body. Naye omutwe gulina responsibilities, gulina okulaba, which is vision. The man is the visionary of the family. The man is the brain, because on the head the thinking is done in the brain. Yalowooleza family, yalabira family, yawulira family kye yeetaaga, yayogerera family yagiwa okukkiriza. So the vision of the family is on the head. The thinking is in the head. Naye Mr. You, bw'omala okulowooza n'okulaba, bw'oba tolina the neck na shoulder na bigere kutambula, byonna by'olowoozeza bifiira mu ggwe, which means, yes, Mr., you are the head. But in order for you to function, tutegeere nti ddala oli muntu, you need the body, and that is what we call the family. Marriage must end in a family. Marriage must end in a family. So marriage is not an institution, because they can fire you in an institution. They can retreat you. They can retire you. Shovulaba some people in marriage never beera pastor kati ne baani akera kumacha nagamba myaka 2 mu mwenda mbadde naawe kati gwe nkuretire nze kanfune yakato. Marriage is not an institution. Marriage is life. Is two people born in different homes deciding and seeing qualities eziri mwoli. No. Kakati bw'obanga wandabako, kati nganze ndi muwanvu nsinga Jessica obuwanvu. Kati Jessica nangamba nze nfumbirwa musajja muwanvu. Nze nga nfumbirwa Jessica kubanga mweru alabika bulungi. oba anjirira oba muwala wa profesa oba yasoma oba alina kino oba alina kino. Kakati bwe tuba nga tuvudde mu Uganda nga tugenze ebweru, where those qualities does not matter, what will happen to us? Ye bwe nfuna accident nenduziga amagulu nembeera mu kagaali, do I cease being a husband? Kubanga yali ayagala muntu muwanvu, kati ate nze ndi mu kagaali nyimpawadde okusinga ye. Ekitegeeza qualities on which you determine to marry someone is not only facial looks. Nazo nno nkulu, kubanga marriage erimu okukola ki? Bayibuli egamba nti alaba. Tell the person next to you, gamba okulaba. Sikuwulira. Sikuwulira. Bayibuli etugamba ffe abasajja nti alaba omukazi oba omukyala, tamuyita na mukazi, agamba he who finds a wife. So in marriage you don't find a girl or a boy, you find a husband and a wife. So let me drop another ball. You girls, don't look at a man, I need a man. In 70s there were songs which was used to be saying, every woman needs a man. You don't need a man, you need a husband. Brother, you don't need a woman, you need a wife. You need a wife. And that's one of the problem that you're going to find. How do you define marriage? How do you define love? You see, the love in a marriage never gets cold or hot or hottest. It's constant. You are ever loving. Even when you are disciplining children, you are disciplining them in what? In love. Even when you are correcting your spouse or your loved one or your husband or your wife, you are telling him, but honey, this is not good. When you do this and do this, it's going to hurt us. When you overspend money and you buy these things, we don't need them. We can use them because the times are tough. I know people are not doing well economically around the world, but we have children to educate. So I don't think this week doing your hair is as important as paying school fees for this little kid. She will not think, era gwe oyagala ndabike bubi. Lwaki enviiri zange zikuluma? Wali tonnampasa nga sirina nviiri? Bandange ndekere enviiri. You find out that, you see, one of the biggest problem, listen to this, one of the biggest problem we have, especially here in Africa, is that we enter things without counting the cost. Jesus said to the people, if you're going to build a house, which is like marriage, or education, or life, or bringing children in the world, count the cost. Because if you are building and you run out of material, people will laugh at you. In other words, you're going to fail. Kati marriage eno gy'oyingirira ow'Oluganda, we have seen it many times. Nosanga omuntu ng'obulwadde bumulumbye bambi ng'abadde muwala mulungi nnyo ne bamuwasanga muwala ffe, we are pastors, so we see more people, more than probably you are seeing. Kakati abantu ne bamala okusoma ne baba n'emirimu ne bazaala omwana asooka, omwana n'abeera autistic, tayogera, awezezza emyaka 6, ali mu dayipa. Kati omukyala n'asalawo asigale alabirire omwana, ate alina fiya ti bwe naddamu n'enzaala abasawo bamugamba ojja kuzaala omulalo wa autism. Abakyajjanjaba omwana ne bamudiagonizinga ne fibroids, bagenda okukebera nga ku cyst kuliko ekizimba ku ovaries, alina cyst, bagenda okukikebera nga alina cancer. Most men will pack and leave. Nawasa kiwanyi, nawasa omukazi aliko ekikolimo. Those who really found a wife, they will stick there. They will make sure the kids get the help he needs. They will make sure the baby is treated, the wife is treated, and they overcome. I know a couple which went through that. But the man was so dedicated, so loving. He stood there with his wife. And when they went through this process, Ababuza, we had a guest who had come to church, and he was a medical doctor. So nembagamba baba counseling. These people had come from Germany. Mami nagamba, no, you don't really have to go through this thing of chemo and other things. Let's take you, since you have a kid of autism, let's give you a trip to Germany. You come, both of you, your husband, your wife, and the kid. And they went there. When they went there, they found a school which can take care of their kid in Germany. When they looked at the woman, really the situation was not as bad as she thought. Now they have 3 children, healthy children. Their marriage is very, very strong. And the wife has stayed in Germany. She studied psychology to help the little kids. So out of her need, now she is treating so many kids with autism who had suffered. And she's traveling from country to country, speaking in conferences. So in marriage, he knows how to turn things around for your good. So all about marriage, you go back to the one who started it. You go back. Why am I marrying Jessica? Why am I marrying her? Is it because of beauty? Is it because of the family where she come from? Is it bubaza? Mbase muwala wa gundi alina kino family emanyiddwa ekola bweti ne bweti bono muwasanga babya bufuzi bwe bana losing obwa member of parliament, then what? You see? Now wasiza muwala wa minister bwe bana mugoba. You see? A mistake we always make, we marry not our wives, we marry their parents. Never marry the parents of your wife or your husband. Anti mukyala wange ava mu family ya maanyi balinana chiri. Hey, when the economic downtown comes, what will you do? That's why marriage is a room of creation. You and you are going to get together, get married, and lay down your levels and start building something for both of you. Whereby the house is not yours, the house is for the family. For us, we took about 10 years when we were renting, because we were building the Lord's house. God promised us to build a house. Finally, we got land. Taxi cafe when we got married of St. Bebatua, all my friends, Jessica's friends, nitugulamu ka taxi. Nekabanga kakola, why Jessica didn't have a job, atenga tusubira abaana. Nenga buli lunaku driver akuleetera okugulu kwa kutuse. Buli lunaku okusala nagamba Jessica. Amaaso gajja kumyukira bwereere nange nkolimira omusajja lwa bwereere. akamotoka katunde. Tewatu akakatunda, somebody offered us land. Watch what God does. And then we finished God's house, we started building our house. And the truth of the matter is, Jessica asked me, ettaka tuliteke mannya ki? Ne mugamba lwaki ombuuza, I was abroad. Ne mugamba liteke mannya go. She said, what? Ne mugamba ya, liteke mannya go. But tulizimbako ennyumba n'ongoba, it's okay. Because I did not marry a girl, I did not marry someone's girl, I married a friend. Nze nakubamu akafaananyi. Men, you are the visionary. Kubamu akafaananyi. Is there a boyfriend and a girlfriend here, or a couple? Do we have a couple here? Yeah, do we have a couple? Or a boyfriend, girlfriend, fiancés? Where are you? Oh, there. Stand up. Come here. Come. Oh, they have to pass. Okay, they are coming on the stage. But I want to tell you, I want you now to start envisioning these people. Come in, please. Mbadde manyi nti bajja kuyita wano buli omu asitule munne ng'amuwanika. Okay, come here, please. I want you to catwalk. Are you husband and wife or fiancés? Boyfriend and girlfriend. Walk over here. Catwalking. Okay, how old are you? Yeah, 28, and you? 27. These are 27 and 28. Okay, stand over here. Let me find another one. Another couple which is above 40. You are 40, you are here. 40 years. Okay, even if you're not a couple, let me get somebody who is 50 and above. A lady, 50 and above. Oh, how old are you? 39, and you? 34. Now I need a gentleman who is about 50 or 60 and or 40 and above. Even if you didn't come with your spouse or your wife, but just come here. I want to show you something. Bw'obanga olina emyaka 5 okugenda waggulu jangu. Aha. Wuno, jangu. Yeah, we are going to use these ones as a couple. No, you can pass that way. What is all kubuka emyaka simitono sebo gundi. So I just want to show you how to approach someone to marry, and he will commit and he will be with you forever. Ne wanajjawo omuwala alina akabina nga kanako akava mu ndeeba, talina jjajja mutwala. Okay, how old are you, mama? 51. And you? 47. Now this is what happens. Come. These are boyfriend and girlfriend. This is all of who you are. Huh? Kabatunuleyo, don't look behind. In a few years, they are going to be like this. 34, 35. in few years. In few decades, they will look like this. I'm just using you as an example. Sister, come. They're going to look like this. In another decade, they will be 60. And another decade, they will be 80. In front, right now, batambula bamagamaga. Ono ayinza n'okugamba oli n'agamba tonzannyirako nja kufunayo omulala. N'oli naye n'amugamba genda olowooza abasajja babuzeeyo. Ne yeerabira nti life you create now, go all the way. Wano tuyinza n'okufunawo ab'emyaka emitono baliwa 20s, teens, abatiini wano baliwa bamyaka 2. Bw'obanga olina 2 olina emeka 22. Gaalo owa 22 oba 23 oba 20 aliwa wano. Huh? Olina emyaka emeka 14. Jangu 14. Jangu 14. I want you to see this. And probably this example will help each one of us to choose the right people. Jangu 14 aliwa. Jangu. Itawali. Waliwo n'omulala eyabadde wano. Waliwo boy wa 16, 18. Jangu eno mujje eno. How old are you? You are 20. This one is 22. Katufuneyo ne 14. Kati goyinza okulowooza nti omwana wa 14 tayinza kulowooza ku marriage akola ki wano kati? Ogera nolowooza nti abaana abato tebasande kulowooza ku marriage. She's 14. What is she doing here? Huh? So, eno gye bitandikira. Bameka ku mmwe abaali nga awaka nga mukula, mami ne daddy ne bagenda ku mbaga, ne mujjayo engatto zaabwe n'ogamba gwe obeera daddy nze mbeere mami. Bameka abaali wano? Okay? So let me get a young man here who can act like you are 18 or aliwa? How old are you? Huh? How old are you? 17. Jangu. Hurry up, hurry up. Oh, so this is where everything starts. But if everything starts because of sex, because of the family you are marrying or you are seeing the girl from, because of education, because of status, we will never end up with a marriage. Because marriage is not all the above I've told you. Marriage is people who love each other, who have discovered immediately one. Wano we bitandikira. Teenage years. Never graduating ku 20s. Never early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, tuli mu 50. And it will continue up to this level and this level and this level. If you don't see it that way when you are engaging yourself in marriage, then she will become a sex object. He will become your bank. nze mujjako bujja ssente mu butuufu simwagala. Some of your grandparents, in fact, they got married at this age. 100 years ago. At this age. And they kept the marriage until your parents were born and now you are here. So we need to understand first and foremost, what is marriage? Why am I entering into marriage? Why am I marrying you? Why am I not marrying you? Era brother, sister bwagamba, brother nze sikwagala. Tolemerako. Togama nsibe emizimu gye wammwe. No, don't. Because all of you come at 50-50, and when you get together, you become one. In marriage, there is no unity. Because God is not a God of unity. He's a God of oneness. Unity is in politics. Kati gwe bw'oyagala kufumbira obufumbo bwa politics tandikira awo. Tulina okubeera okwegatta. Si kwegatta. Marriage is not about unity. Marriage is about becoming one. A man shall leave his mother and father, and they shall do what? Become one. They shall become one. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you become one. Nekatonda naye, God is what? One. Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is one. Jesus prays in John 17 and said, Father, I pray that they may be one, as I and the Father, we are one. Because marriage, you become inseparable. Oba bulwadde bwebuze. Oba mukyala oba muyiridde acid. Face nekyuka. That is your wife because you married. Now, I want you to turn around. Look at, no, you stay here. Turn around. Do you know that you're going to grow and reach this level? Ogenda kula n'omwana ono. I'm just giving an example. Teweraliikirira. Wano wennyini muyinza okutandika obulamu n'abantu ne babawagira ne mutandika obugagga. Ne bye mutanaba kusoma ne mufuna n'essente nga mazzo mulina enkoko mulina ente mulina ennyumba buli muntu abawadde kye mulina n'oddayo n'okusoma n'omaliriza naawe n'ogenda n'osoma n'omaliriza naye ng'ate mukola bintu byammwe for your future. I love Makerere University. They have a good motto. We build for the future. Okimanyi timwatandikira eno kati muli wano naye ate temugenda kukoma wano. Kyuka otunulire bali eyo gye mulaga. Nammwe mukyuke. Ebyali ebyokusaagasaaga, ebyali nkubiraako omuweereza ka taxi nga tewanzizeemu mulaga eno. Kyuka otunulire bali mulabe mutandisa okukaddiwa. Mu kiseera kino, by now you have children, you have factories, you have things. You look back. You look back and see where you came from. You are celebrating 25 in marriage. So you look back and you say, oh Lord, we have made it. You are my friend. Kakati bano bwe batabukira wano akabaate kazze. Mutuule wansi. Kakati ono imirira mama, imirira mwisikale nga muyimirira. Ono naga nti oyo mukoye sikyamwetaaga. You are no longer my friend. Ngenda mubano nenonjezeeyo akalenzi kange. Kwabo bonna bali awo genda olondeyo k'oyagala. Baabo. Genda olondeyo k'oyagala. Nono naye n'atabuka n'agamba okaddiye. Tochandabikira bulungi. Sente ziweze. Now we have a lot of money. Kangene mfune yakato. Sebo nawe genda olonde yakateri. No, we are acting. Yeah, this is not real, but we are acting. I want these young people to know the decisions we make when you are infatuated or bewitched or I don't know what happened to you. Nze bulijjo ngamba nti abakola cartoon America enjaga gye banywa ffe tetuginywa because they come out with all kinds of characters you have never seen. And in marriage you can't always come out with new characters. You can't come up with new characters. You chose a character you wanted to build your life with. So mama go bosoka ogende wefunira akalenzi akato kulayini wano okaleete wano sebo soko dewa ojekolo genda werondere akato. Now you can see what happened. Come on. Now you can see. First of all, mama onainzo kwa katugamenti ali 80 over 70. Okay, senta alina afunye yakato. But do you see not only yeretedde obuzibu kubanga ono mbutuufu tajja kola ki tajja kumwagala amwagalako ki sente azitwalirani naye buli alaba ekifaananyi kino agamba atya nti jjajja zze ne muzzukulu we. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay, not only that, naye ono asigadde nani? Asigadde nani? Talina. Bali ne baba nga bali babiri nga baagalana nga bagenze ontagenda kukoma weeno naye ono asigadde akola ki? Talina. Olowooza kati yaana akola atya? Agenda kukola atya? Kubanga oli omwami ayinza obutamutwala. Omwami oli ate n'atandikira ku ono. Ekitegeeza wano bano bamaze okukola ka triangle. Ono abadde atandika obutandisi. Ono ng'agamba nti nze siviiramu awo wamma gwe tunula otunuulira oli. Kakati olaba confusion obuvuyo obubeera mu nsi yonna. Kubanga ono baamulekawo ali bita ng'atomera ono. Kwata kwoyo, soko mukwata kwoyo. Sister, mukoneko. Goba. Oli anywezezza bunyweza. So my point is this. Marriage is never only one marriage safe. All marriages must be what? Safe. Amasebo jangu olondeyo. Kubali wano. This is a great professor. This is a great teacher. So, okimanyi lwaki alonze oyo? Kati ali mu competition n'oli. Do you understand what I'm saying? Watutte kato nange ndeeta kaki. Kakati denje eri bweti nti oli yalesa akato kana akato kajja kola katya kajja kuzaala naye maama ono takyakola atya ate ng'ono alina okukola ki kati ekivaamu ng'alekawo maama ono ng'agenda addayo ng'akola ki kakati olaba AIDS bwasaasaana mu nsi olaba endwadde bwe zisaasaana ena amala yenda kubbira agamba gwe tuulaawo tonyiiga ng'amuleetera obugatto kakati oli gwe baalekawo ono olufaayo n'addayo ewa mami suga mami n'addayo bw'ati ono akola atya? Kakati no njagala mwetegereze. Njagala mwetegereze kino. The danger in this, because we were given power to create or procreate. Kakati ono oli yali tannabagenda yamuwa olubuto n'azaala omwana. Aba ali eri ono naye n'akola atya? Naye n'amuwa olubuto naye n'azaala. Kakati n'oli yali agenda w'omwami oli yagenda naki? Olwono bw'atuuka era eri naye n'akola atya? N'azaalayo abaana. Kati laba embaga. Kakati omwana w'oli ajja kukula ajja ayagala omwana waani? Tebeemanyi. Bonna bali mu masomero ge gamu. Ono ayagala ow'oli ayagala ow'oli. Ekyo kye bayita inbreeding. Mwenna mulyoke muzaala abantu nga balyanga abambuti, ng'obwana bwonna bumpi bwe buti, kubanga omusaayi gwe muki? Kati ekivaamu endwadde ebeera y'emu. Ffe abalunzi b'ebisolo tukyewala nnyo ente eri mu kiraalo kiri okujja okulinnyira ente zino, na wano n'ezaalawo abaana abalala. Era bwe mmala okumanya nti nze nnina ente ennume, bwe mba nga ngikooye sigiguza mulirwana, njiguza muntu wa kyalo kirala. Enkazi sifaayo naye ensajja njiguza walala. Lwaki? Kubanga nja kukera ku makya ng'ente ya mulirwana erinnyidde ente zange, ereeta obulwadde obubeera mu musaayi bw'otamanyi. Y'ensonga lwaki ennaku zino sikosero yeeyongedde nnyo, sukaali yeeyongedde nnyo. Marriage is not something to play with. Marriage is not something to play with. Katonda yatukwasa to create ourselves. This is not a laboratory wogezesa oba kino kinaakola oba tekiikole oba kino kinaaba bwe kiti. Ate another thing we need to learn about marriage. Thank you so much bannange. Mubakubireko mu ngalo our characters. Naye era ne bwe mufuna kakati essaawa eno mbagattirawo kubanga lwa mukaaga. Ate wali batundawo soda n'ebikomando olwo nga tukola reception nga biwedde. But listen to this. One of the things that you have to understand about marriage, that's why in your family you are raising a husband for my children. You are raising a wife for my children. Marriage is not something to play with. That's why it has to come out of love. Kati mbakomeza ku age eno ey'abakulu bano, naye abaana abo banga begendedde abafunye mukwano gw'anaakaddiwa naye. Everybody does not think about getting old. Endabirwamu zino zirimba. Ogitunulamu n'ogira oti nolowooza nti awo ogenda okubeera for another 60 years. Naye time ejja kutuuka okaddiwe nga muli babiri mu nnyumba. Most of our children have grown up now. The boy is soon getting married. The daughters will get married. Mu nnyumba tugenda kusigalamu aba ne Jessica. Y'ensonga lwaki when you are treating omanyina nti ekyo kya marriage kinene nnyo, probably we need a whole day. But thank God for bride and groom. Era babayitanga mukomangawo. But watch this. Time ejja kutuuka nga I'm not as strong as I used to be. Kubanga ngenda kuwangala emyaka 15. Nga nja kwetaaga omuntu wankwata ku ki? Agane jatootekasana. Nga ne speed eno tekyaliwo, nga n'ebintu obiraba ki? Dabo. kakati omuntu gwabonyabonyanga mu bufumbo agenda okufumbira ekikero okirye. Because couples don't think about those things. You rather be with someone you've been with all your life until you die than in between bringing someone abaza amanyi kyayagala. Akakire ekisajja kyazaala n'abaana nawali ne kizaalawo nawano ne kizaalawo kati nze ndi maka nze ngenda okusalawo kye ngenda okukola. Pensioni yonna agiteeka wali ate tonna gojja kaabira ye mukyalo ow'omu maka. Abaana bo ne bajja bagamba ajja kubagamba you get out, this is my husband, I don't want to see you. Onookola otya? Many of you are finding it very difficult to talk to your father or your mother because they were spoiled. Someone is controlling them. So marriage is not only getting happiness today, but it is also the most secure insurance about the years to come. Holy matrimony is the most secure insurance that you can take on your life and on the life of your loved ones. Because nebwembeera si ndwadde sikyayogera sikola bwenti, I know Jessica will take care of me. I know she will not throw me out. I know she will not turn around and say, owange buli muntu akoowa. Akasajja kaagala nnyo ffene ate kako kakutuse n'ekiwalaata. Mbadde nako emyaka 3 mu eki owange nange ndi muntu. Ng'okwagala kwa Katonda bwe kutakoowa, ne true love of a true spouse will never tire. Will never tire. Okay, lwaki abaami balwawo nnyo to decide, to commit? Look in the Garden of Eden. Adam was okay, looking for a helper. He went among the monkeys, giraffes, chimpanzees, and the Bible says he did not find anybody. Then God said, you should not live alone. In fact, this is true about men. It is true about men. You ladies need to know it. Katonda ye yamugamba you should not be alone. Oba oyagala oba toyagala yensonga lwaki most of the men, me inclusive, wabeerawo time lw'obeeranga the other things on your mind, because you are the eye, you are the ear, you are the mouth, you are the nose, you are the breathing, nga be preoccupying this major step of marriage. Because ne Satan ayagala obeere free to completely damage your future. Kakati buli muntu ajja ng'obadde olina by'okola nga you a man, kino abakyala mukigenderere. Abasajja balowooza nti olina ky'ozza okunona. Subconsciously. Oh, okay. Kale, you are my friend. Okay. Ekireeta obuzibu, ladies, is to sleep with that man before he commits. You have to be like Eve. The reason why they call her Eve, because God brought her in the evening. Abraham chiavali sarako evening namita Eve. You were a lady of the evening. Okay, you learn it next time. On many evening, that's why you wear long gowns. That's why you look more beautiful. Eve did not sleep with Adam when they were in the garden. She cooked food for him, but they did not sleep together until Adam had decided, you are mother of the living, sina walala wendaga gwe ngenda okubeera naye. Bayibuli egamba in chapter 4 and Adam knew his wife Eve. Chapter 3 teyamukwatako. I'm being as plain as I can. Ekizibu ekibeera ku sisters is that you quickly which 2 3 4 njagala kujja kulaba woosula. Ojja kulaba byotalabangako gwe. Onoonyaayo ki? Adam knows his wife after they have even been kicked out of the garden, and yet she was with him. Ekyokubiri, basista, ekizibu kye muba nakyo, olowooza nti bw'otuusa omusajja abadde talya mmere. Adam was in the garden before Eve. Olowooza yali alya ki? Hello? Oli olukwana myezi 3 baneekandabye ye saati yongera bikabulala kanzije nkuyamba okugololera ku ngoye. Oyinza obutafuluma nnyumba eyo. Oyinza obutafuluma nnyumba eyo sister. Wazze kukyala lwa Saturday okukakana ngomazewo emyaka egyo. Abewa mwe babuuza yigundi yalagawa nti ali wali mu kazigo. Nze kineewuunyisa. I'm so shocked. Eve arrived in the garden and Adam said, hey Eve, don't touch that tree. They told us not to touch it. Eve nasibira ku muti gwe bamugaanyi. Eve n'afumba emmere n'agireetera omusajja. Omusajja ali talya. Abaye kambuuze. Mwatuga tuli mu bufumbo. Afumba ani? Lwaki Eve teyatula n'agamba nti bw'onooba oyagala ng'otuusa okufumba mpita nkuyambe. Nze I'm here to help. Naye enjala ennuma njagala kulya. Temandibadde na buzibu. Naye yagenda n'ayingira effumbiro nga n'akambe tamanyi we kabeera. Kyenvudde ngamba nti, for example, let me just give you an example of my own life at home. My mother raised us cooking because we were more boys. 9 boys, 4 girls. So we had to know okusanika emmere, kuteekamu emizingoonyo, okugisiba mu byayi, okuginyiga n'ogiza mu kibba ate n'ogizaako, n'osaako omuwogo, n'osaako box y'omuceere, twaguyitanga mupunga, ate n'ofumba n'enva. N'okugijjula when I was 9. So I could do that. So kufumba awaka is not a problem. Jessica is not there. I will go to the kitchen and cook for myself. Cooking is not an issue. Abasajja abali wano, bw'obanga owasa mufumbi wa ttooke nkusaasidde. Kubanga ettooke bwe linaggwa, then what? Marriage is not about cooking. Kubanga bwembanga bampadde ekifo kya bwembasada mu London nga wembeera oba nkola mu kitongole, famire yange eri Geneva, nze ndi wano nkola mu Uganda, nazze kujjanjaba Ebola oba nazze kukola ntya, ndi doctor, sijja kunoonya nfumbira mmere. Nsula mu hotel Serena, basasula emyezi 6, breakfast weri. So it's not about cooking food. Marriage is not about cooking food. At any given level, life must be better than yesterday. You hear me? Don't dream of marrying a wife or a husband. Mubere ku kyalo, mutaka koko mwami yakagoba. Lero mwatwagala kulya ku nkoko, kale omwami n'agoba enkoko. Negenda nesala oluguudo. N'agikwata n'agireeta, n'asala, n'okalirira, n'ojjayo oluwombo, omwami n'omuwa ekifuba. Kentucky fried chicken eri wali. So it's not about that. Abantu abali extremely busy. I know a couple, Ugandans, extremely busy. A man is a neurosurgeon. A wife is a judge. He sits in cases atwalane file awaka ejemisango. Balina abafumba emmere, balina abayera ennyumba zaabwe, balina abagolola engoye, balina abatwala ebintu abatwala n'abaana ku ssomero. They have no time. A wife has no time to go to the kitchen. And the husband has no time to sit around and say, akati ate, kozo obagambye otya, biringanya, niba ne omunyo nga mukukozesa nnyo. So what kind of life do you want to have in your marriage? The life you want, you must create it. You must create the life you want. That's why if you're looking for a job, omwani alina omulimu, anaakuwasa, ate kukuba nga alina omulimu, n'akugulira DSTV. Namamonde. Don't marry a Namamonde or Dodo. Life must be better than what it is today. So if those are the things you are depending on, okufumba, okutegeka, okola, of course it's good for you to clean if you don't have the money. But the time our God we serve is a miracle God. Is a God of increase. Your life is not going to end where it is today. It's going to get much more better. That's why you go back to the author of marriage and you find out why did Adam. That's why Adam produced 2 children. The first children killed each other. Cain killed Abel. God cursed Cain. And then they produced 2 more. That's it. We never heard about Adam, but they lived 930 years. Marriage is about life. It's not an institution. And so my advice will be, pray to God, look at the qualities someone has, love those qualities. Don't love the body, because body chuka. Hello? Omukyala kasita amala okuzaala abaana 2 basa emirundi 3 body ekola ekya okujjako n'omutira mu gym. Naffe abasajja body ekyuka endabika ekyuka. So don't base your love of someone based on how they look like, because the body changes. Body changes. But the qualities never change. Mama olichi yagambye nti wachi mukakasa bakyala bawala bokka naye aba boy child temubadiringa nabo. Mukyala Teresa amaka buuza era kyola nti Pastor Jessica and I don't believe in that talk. Yalo obuliri omwami mukamulira akatunda. Bwe mbanga mbadde ku bigere byange ndi doctor maze 8 hours in the hospital, I'm operating on people. Nategeera nti tewanyodde katunda. Nkomyewo awaka mbadde mbaga bantu n'ennyama sagala girabako ng'ongamba ngende mufumbire okufumbira emmere. Bakuzala ku lunaku kiggu. Tolina mikono. Hello? Are you listening to what I'm saying? Abange, do you believe that life is more than those jobs we do? Huh? 8 a.m., 5 p.m. not dawaka. Right now there is a general commanding the troops. Soldiers are in Congo fighting. They are in Somalia keeping peace. There are some people who don't sleep at night so that you can sleep. But they have families. They have families. Katibo bakola batya. President Museveni, Mama Janet ayawo, na yoli ntwalako ddi ku beach. I'm not saying going to the beach is bad, but I'm saying build a life. Osobole okuzimba obulamu bwammwe n'obugagga bwammwe mu kifo ky'ogendanga ku beach, musulire ddala ku beach. Because the other part of marriage is when you are now enjoying the fruit of your labor. Wealth creation. Wealth creation nkulu nnyo. And you don't have to be a genius to do that. You just have to agree together. Bible egamba 2 or 3 when they agree. 2 or 3 when they agree. Because in unity you compromise. I compromise here, you compromise here. Marriage is not about compromising. I'm not compromising anything. Jessica is not compromising anything. We just agree on something. Concerning Junior. Concerning Christiana. This is what we have to do. I wanted to go to be there with my daughter. She was graduating. But I couldn't. I had to remain. And she had to take the children. There are times she remained and I traveled. You see, it is about agreeing. Agreeing. Lero tukole ki? Tugule engoye? Obadde yagala lugoye ki? Akale gwe gula. Nze naagula omwaka ogujja. Lastly, before I take on the last question, waliwo omwami bali bamaze 36 years in marriage. He came, his wife was divorcing him. And the wife was divorcing him on 2 points. They were poor. The lady raised the children. She worked and educated the children. But the status did not change for them, but the children's status changed. And the lady said, Pastor, this man has never even said to me, thank you for loving me. Even on Valentino, tantwala ko waeleda dokumpa akamuli. Naganti omusajja muleka. So the children came from abroad. They came and said, Pastor, cancel these people. I cancel them. Mwami naganti omukyala munange nandekawo. Ne muganda lwaki akulekawo. Nanga omukyala musumba mukama akulage mwoyo omusajja oyo alina empisa embi. Ne muganda okali kansabe. Bwe bajja okuba checkinga ne mbawulamu abamu ne mbateekamu another part of the office, another part of the office. Ne nkwata omwami ne mubuuza omukyala nga amaze okumbuulira naga nti ogolaba oyo. Njagala musumba Kayanja ogende omugambe ajjeko ekkooti. Gwe musalira amagezi ekkooti agijjeko agiwanike wali eyo gy'ayambadde nze nagimugulira mugamba agijjeko agiwanike wali olyoka olabe. Ebituli byonna bijjudde ensawo z'ekkooti. Kubanga oyo gwolaba agenda agula ekifu ky'enkoko n'akikweka muli. Emmese ne zijja ziruma ensawo. Mumuli awo no binyeebwa ye ng'akyuka bw'ati ng'aluma ekifu ky'enkoko ng'akizaamu. Mama kyeyagambye, why are we emphasizing on 𝐥𝐤𝐤? Kakati omwami ne muganda sebo njagala kukusabira naye ekkooti soko giwanika wanaga ekkooti yange gindekere. Ne muganda naye maama alina byaŋŋambye ebinyiiziza. Lwaki okola otyo? Naganda omanyi oyo mukagiriza abaana batuweereza ssente yagamba mbu tukyasasula amabanja g'abaana, tukyasasula kino na kiri, tulina okuzimbira abaana. Kati ssente gwe baziwanze tebazimpa. Nange bwe nfunayo akafiika nga k'enkoko n'enkagula ate n'ayomba. Oyo naye amanyi okutambula n'agenda mbaana be. Ogenda okukomawo ng'alina obuti bw'asokola mu mannyo. Atalidde ennyama alaba n'obuti obw'omu mannyo. These are people have been married for 34 years. Omukyala ne mubuuza kizibu kiddala ky'olina ky'olabira ddala. Naga nti oyo tampangayo yadde akamuli ka Valentino. Nenga ningamba omusajja n'issebo otuswazizza. Mu Uganda abantu bafa enkya n'ekiro. Buli wabeerawo omulambo wabeerawo ebimuli. Ne mugamba genda kukufa ku bino ebimuli ebiri awo olondeko byolonda otwalirwa omukyala. Olwo nalwo lugwe. Omukyala mutwale mulumbe abafu b'ennaku zino babbufe. Gwe mugamba tutambuleko nga muyitika muntu nga bagenda gabula mmere ya bulumbe. Lubako ennyama, lubako enkoko, amala okulya eyo omuzza awaka. Lwaki otuswaza? ng'abasajja. They were divorcing on literally nothing. Marriages single bungi, they are breaking not because there is something fundamental. Very small thing. Others is infidelity. Obutali bwesigwa. Others poverty. Others kwerabira gye mwava. Byonna bye muyiseemu mutuusa ozimbye n'ogamba kangende kuwoli. Naye kano ke tulabye aka 14 we kalikulira katandika okujjanjaba mu ddwaliro ng'osigaza amannya aga mu kibuno. Ng'osigaza aga mu kibuno. That's the problem. Nti marriage is a journey. It's a life. Bakadde bo baakukuza ne bakutuusa we bakutuusizza. Kati ne bakuteera omuntu who is a stranger. Ate gwe omwerondera. So tonenyanga maama wo, tonenyanga emizimu gy'ewaabwe, gwe omukeera ku makya n'ogamba ngenda kuwasa tolofayina. Ne weerondera ddodo wo. And there is something that we always do. We say, nti omusajja bamundekere nja mukyusa. None of us has power to change a person. Hello? None of us has what? A power to change someone. It's only love that changes people. Love. Because love is patient. Love is long suffering. Love is kind. What do you go to voting a munno? Kakati obadde olowooza nti bw'onoolya enkoko neggwamu olonkaabe. Lastly, wano mu Buganda ne mu Africa yonna nabadde ngamba nga nsomesa abasumba ku Thursday the other week. Nembagamba, look here. How do we overcome poverty? Very simple. Nagani mwe abasumba bava mu Buganda wano. Baga nti kabaka yasooka, omuganda yasooka bamuyitanga kintu. Yalina ki? Ente ye. N'agenda ewaggulu Katonda awase muwala we gwe bayita ki? Nambi. Nambi yalina ki? Enkoko ze n'obulo. Tusooke tuyimirire awo. Let's stop there. Kakati emyaka gyonna mu Buganda baagandanga abakazi okulya amagi n'enkoko. Ng'Abaganda beerabidde nti omuganda yasooka omukazi yalina ki? Enkoko naki? N'obulo. N'obulo ng'omwami yalina ki? Ente. In other words, marriage erina both of you contributing, however small it is, to create a life is worth it. So mukyala gwe tojjanga mu marriage ng'ogabana ng'omusajja anyambye mbadde nfa mbadde sinake nina bannange wanyambye nnyo. I brought my 50% and you brought your 50%. When we add it together, we create one. He's a contributor, you are a contributor. N'okubeera obubeezi abakasisitolo kyagambye tife ababeera awaka banasasalangayo akasaala. No one pays you salary. You are building your own business. And not business. You are building your own life. You are building your own life. Why should we pay you? Kati n'abasajja bajjagana ogenda okola gali bane nze kansigale nange nkumbe ku baana mukyala gwe genda okole. Bayibuli egamba nti omusajja is a breadwinner. It is an honor. Musajja gwe ogenda okuba bloka n'okima amazzi ku kyalo n'oleetera abaawaka ekyokulya. It is an honor okola any kind of job, no making sure nti at least omwana asoma. Bayibuli egamba nti omusajja ono yali muzibu w'amaaso ng'erinnya lye ye Batulumaayo mutabani wa Battimaayo. Ekigambo Battimaayo kitegeeza mu Lwebbulaniya blind person. So a blind man yazaala blind. ye n'abeginga n'akoowa ng'akaddiye n'akwata omuzibe mutabani we n'akola atya n'amutwala naye abeginge naye nga bonna bandibadde batuula waka nga tebalina kyakulya. Yesu bwe yamuzibula amaaso kyemanyi nti yaddayo awaka n'akyusa famire yo n'ebizibu bye yali erina. Abaana be tuzaala mu bufumbo buno obutukuvu be bagenda okununula enkya. Eddogo lyonna lye tulina mu Afirika, eddogo lyonna bandoga tebanjagaliza biva ku dysfunctional families. Dysfunctional families. Kubanga okira ku makya omwami n'avaawo n'awasa omukyalo omulala n'azaala abaana. Katonda ali mu maka n'aga nti kanyingiridde kankatambulire. Oli naye bw'agenda bw'agenze eri musamizi omulala ng'aga nti mujjawo yakuloga. Nga naye akola ssente alogemu ono. Kakati amalogo ne gabeera bwe gati. Ono aloga ono, ono aloga ono, ono aloga ono, ono aloga. Abaana ne banga tebaagala kusoma beekwasa ddogo. Batuloga step mother, tukola ebintu bingi nnyo bannange. Gwe maama we yali anoonyaayo ki? I'm sorry okuteeka burden kugwe, but I'm trying to make a point. Africans, we would have been so rich, but we spend money on funny games. Nokuba n'omukazi mulala n'omuzaalamu abaana naye n'abeera n'abaana be ate nabo balina right okubeera ne taata waabwe. Katonda n'agamba temulinnyayo ekigere. Akaana bambi ne kajja tekalina musango. Omwana obumu babuzaala tebulina musango. Naye olukalengera ne banne waako temukwata ku kintu kyako. Maama waako yakatumye ayagala kututta. Bitterness and hatred eriwo because of failed marriages. Failed marriages. Therefore, don't enter into marriage unless you have seen the beginning from the end. Koma Katonda ffe bw'atyo bw'ali. Is the Alpha and Omega. Katonda tayinza kuyingira mu kintu nga tamanyi we kinaggweera. Ate naawe obulamu bubi bufaanana. Tewazze wano leero era temegenda kutuuka okola otya. Oddeyo gye wazze. Oba otambuza bigere oba boda boda oba ogenda kubuuka nga kinyonyi whatever era ojja kuddayo. So n'olwensonga eyo bw'obanga you are in love with someone nga kapa eri bwetugambye they are boyfriend and girlfriend, love that person. Abooluganda, we don't love people, we love parts of their body. We just love bodies, we don't love the spirit, we don't love the person. So muntu mwetegereza olabe kimunyiiza zivaako mangu. Kakati oliba nga zimuvaako mangu mumaze naye omwaka mulamba okereye eddakiika 5 n'ayomba nesumbusa n'azikasuka. Kakati oyo olina obuzibu ajja kutuuka awaka akaaba ekiro kyonna oleme ogenda okukola enkya bakugobe ku mulimu. Oli akusanzeko oyimiridde n'abantu ani gwobadde oyimiridde naye? Ani oyo? Omugambe awo nkola nabo. Okola nabo. Nze saagala abantu banyingirira munnange. Enkeera ku makya omusange ng'agenze mu bali abakozi abagambe mwe temuddayo kuzanyira ku kintu kyange. Kakati look at the characters you are going with. Ekirala ekireetera abantu bonna abaami n'abakyala okubeera nga balina obuzibu abalala no TV remote control ye batabula. I had written something there to share with you, but I felt based on the question you have is that you're not doing bad. You're going to survive. You're going to survive. So I pray for you that your marriage will become strong. And after you are strengthened, you will strengthen your what? Others. That you pass on to the wisdom you have to other people. Ekisembayo, marriage must lead into a family. That's it. Oba mulina abaana oba temulina, that's your family. You can always adapt. You can. So the problem is not about yazaala teyazaala. Eriyo n'abagoba abakyala kuba yazadde baana bawala bokka. Naye ng'ate science egamba nti determining abaana yaani is the man. Kati why are you blaming me okuzaalira abawala gompeereza abawala? Weereza omulenzi olabe nga sibasuulewo abalina emitwe giryanga egya tractor. Egya triangle. Seriously. Things that we fight over, sometimes we blame people for nothing. Yo omwana omuwala tasika n'abakyala wa Bungereza si muwala. Musibye mutano banyabo ne bassebo. So partly ignorance na yombi. Ignorance na yombi. You don't want to marry someone who is poor, because you're the one going to make him rich. You'll work together. You'll pray for them. You'll encourage. You need to marry someone who will encourage you. Who will encourage you? Nagambo gundi. You look good. Olabika bulungi. Leero nonyiriddeko. Sikugamaga obana olero kyabadde ki. Come on. Come on. Ebigambo bino bye tugamba bannaffe. You remember, whatever you sow you shall reap. Hello? Whatever you do what? Whatever you sow. Oyo no gwoyogera naye. Anaddala mu abakristaayo oba abalokola abakkiriza Katonda. Omuwala oyo gw'omistreatinga muwala wa bosi wo. Muwala wa bosi wo. Bwe obeera ng'oli mulokole bosi wo ye Katonda. Oyo muwala oba omukyala oyo taata we yaani ye bosi wo. N'omusajja oyo gw'omistreatinga mutabani wa bosi wo. Kandabe bw'onookuuma omulimu. Hello? So my point is simple. Marriage jekubira ekifaananyi. I'm going to live how many years, Bridget? Who will walk with me this journey? Is it this one or that one? Is this one or that one? Kakati abalabu kunji ojja kungamba abala temukyaseka na kuseka muntu n'olidde bubi. Ogane nze namala ddo kigwamu kati nkole ntya. Nze natomera. Neyatomera bagigolola. Hello? Neyatomera bagikola batya? Bagigolola tenedda ne ku luguudo bayinza n'ogiwa yingini empya. Ye change eyo gye tugamba omuntu ofuka ekitonde kijja. Omwoyo Mutukuvu akubeerako ofuka kitonde kijja yadde wayingirira ekintu nga kizibu tokyasobola nakisobola. Katonda asobola okukyusa omuntu oyo kubanga alina amaanyi. So instead of going for divorce and breaking your marriage and restart again, kati for example kamba ukikolabirako me nina kati emyaka 61 61 years. Okay? Abaana bange kati bamaze okusoma bakuze bagenda kufumbirwa. Kati nga ngoba Jessica mpaseka naka 14. Hello? Kakati nako kafuna olubuto kakole katya kazaala. Kati omwana wanaawerera emyaka egy'Abakristiyaana batukidde okufumbirwa oba amaze okusoma, nze nja kuba bajja kubeera ku myaka 22. Kati ddira 22 ogigatte ku 61. Nja kuba nina emyaka emeka 83. Kakati kano ke mmaze okuzaala kakazi kattu, nze taata waako nze nina okatwala kuki ku ssomero, nze ntula mu PTA, nze kavumya abantu, nze ngendayo okwegayirira, tekakomyewo saawa ziweze 4, nze nina okukagulira ku myaka gino gye ndimu eg'78. Kati we kamalira okusoma kave Makerere kafuna omusajja akawasa nja kuba nina emyaka 84. Kati nno kamuleete kanjule ate nze nina okawalkinga down the aisle olyokola okwaba embaga. Nkutte ka 22 years old bakuba kati nogana amazina ag'ennaku zino abagole bajja bakola batya olyoka ondabe bwengendera ku ttaka bwengenda sijja kuvaayo. Why do I torture myself? Why do I torture myself? Emyaka gyange egy'obukadde gyandibadde to enjoy grandchildren. No, this marriage is not just getting married to somebody and walk. No. It is a real life creation. Is when you take your life in your own hand and determine how far your life will go. Christina yangamba nti, when I get married, Daddy, I'm going to send my children, you raise them for me. Because you're a good daddy. Ne mugamba obaleeta, nja kubukuba obuze obwana bu. Nabo n'abana nawe ebbanga lino lyonna atondeetera obubwo nabo bumbonyebonye. Sooka omale okubukuza bwe buliweranga 20 awo. Ne bajja bandabako nga ngamba, hey, grandchildren, tugende tukamente. Ijaha, toshere nte. Tisooka kuŋŋamba nti ogenda obuleete. Kakabe ekiro nneme okwebaka. Maze emyaka 22, emmeme enkuba, aliruddawa, ebibuuzo, atondeetere n'akano kantawanye kajje mu kisenge, neebaseeko bandeetere akatonda. Grandpa, never kuzaakaanako. So marriage is about a whole life. It's about a whole life that you are building your own life. Otandika wano okyali buto yensonga lwaki never discourage those 14, 8 when they come to you and talk to you about marriage. Togamba mwana gwe ebintu wabitandise ddi. Talina kye yatandise. Abuuza bubuuza. Era bajjanga nagamba bannange there is so and so ng'ayogera buli ng'omugamba ya. But the journey is long. Neto mugamba tomugobako bantu. Tomugobako bantu. Naye mugambe gundi. Omuntu oyo gw'oli naye. Lwaki tomugezesa? Bw'agenda okugula ebintu byakuwaako. Asharinga naawe. Olowooza onoobeera naye until you are 92 years old. Ogenda kwa yakomawo enkera nagamba, I don't want to talk to so and so. Why? He's mean. Ngagamba, thank you, Jesus. Me, I believe when two people love each other genuinely, truthfully, ebirala byonna Katonda ajja